They stole the votes. The Dominion voting machines stole the votes. And George Soros, Mark Zuckerberg, paid $400 million to flip the votes.
Do you think that it was a stolen election?
I would say so, as what I have known so far of what I've read and researched.
When you look at the entirety of the Republican electorate and you see that a huge portion of them refuse to accept the fact that Donald Trump did in fact lose the 2020 presidential election, it's a little terrifying when you also take a look at the Republican candidates who are running for office and who are very likely to win positions of power that could undermine our democracy. And this was a story that the Washington Post put out. It's an analysis of these GOP candidates and just how many of them keep repeating, perpetuating the big lie that the election was stolen from Donald Trump. They write that a majority of Republican nominees on the ballot this November for the House, Senate, and key statewide offices, 299 in all, have denied or questioned the outcome of the last presidential election. This will probably scare you even more. 174 are actually running for safely Republican seats. Another 51 will appear on the ballot in tightly contested races. And most of them, look, most of them are expected to win. That's what's so terrifying about this. So you take a look at the electorate, you take a look at the candidates that are likely to win. If Republicans take hold of the House, we should be very concerned. In fact, there are already scores of election deniers in the House. 139 of them voted against the Electoral College count after the violence of January 6th had finally abated. But with 37 election deniers who are not incumbents running in safely Republican or competitive House districts, that number will almost certainly rise after November. Cenk, I'm actually really worried about the future of this country, right? So we could talk about policy all day long, but the underlying democratic process is what I think is gonna be dismantled slowly but surely. We're seeing it before our very eyes, and I'm not trying to be hyperbolic, I'm not trying to fearmonger, I'm giving you the numbers here. It's pretty scary stuff.
Absolutely. So this is why I get frustrated with Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi and all the other Democratic leaders who keep saying the majority of Republicans are wonderful, awesome, reasonable people, but we've got a small minority who are ultra MAGA who are creating problems. No, it's the majority. So first of all, the number was 139, as Anna explained to you, that already challenged this election. Now it's very likely to be at least 174 because those are safe seats that the election deniers are running in. And it is now 56% of Republicans, not in the country, not the voters, but actual officials who, almost all of them, outside of a handful of lunatics like Paul Gosar and Louis Gohmert, et cetera, almost all of them know that the election was not at all stolen, that Trump lost 60 court cases in a row because he presented zero evidence. They all know it, but 56% of them say, no, we deny it. And we think Biden lost and Trump won. I'm surprised it's only 56%, but that is the majority of elected Republican officials in the House of Representatives. So yes, the majority of Republicans that now say, we don't give a damn about democracy. We're gonna keep power. Remember, for a lot of the Republican voters, they actually believe the election was stolen. So you could say that's crazy, and I say that's crazy, right? But I mean, you saw them, they think Mark Zuckerberg took it.
Although I will say, even though that woman, seems to have some issues, the Mark Zuckerberg is pretty clever.
Yeah, that's why he has $400 million. He's got a lot of Zuckerbucks.
A lot of Zuckerbucks.
Okay, now they never explain why Mr. Zuckerbucks doesn't turn around and then buy all of Congress. Why would he let the Republicans win anything?
Right, exactly.
Okay,
yeah.
Let alone have the majority all the time. They just, under Trump, the first 2 years, they had the White House, they had the Senate and the House. Why did Zuckerberg allow that?
No, man. I mean, Zuckerberg looks at McConnell and is like, that's the homie. I'm gonna keep him in charge.
Yeah. Well, actually, of course, in reality, Mark Zuckerberg appears to be a Republican, and certainly on all economic issues supports Republicans and seems to favor Republicans on his platform. But he is Jewish and he does run a social media organization, and so is George Soros. So here they are, the two people she named happens to be Jewish.
I wonder why.
I wonder where she got that from. Right-wing media that's constantly mentioning Jewish names, secretly controlling politicians. That's a very old anti-Semitic trope that has been around for hundreds of years and usually leads to massacres. It's not just the politicians. Look, I was just at Yale. I did a debate there at the political union. It was wonderful, great, terrific students. But we started discussing what the different students believe. And now this is a little bit anecdotal, obviously, right? But you're seeing it in media as well, and we've tracked that for you guys. I even interviewed the original right-wing philosopher who came up with the idea of being in favor of a monarchy here in America.
A dictatorship. Let's stop calling it a monarchy, a dictatorship.
Yeah, and I asked for clarity from the students too. And so they said a certain portion of the left wing, by the way, is getting more radicalized. That's interesting too, and that might come back to haunt us. And then you've got your regular set of folks in the middle, and then you've got now a significant portion of the right wing students who believe in that they call themselves monarchists.
Insane.
That's basically a sanitized word for dictatorship. That's exactly what a monarchy is. It's not a little like a dictatorship. It's exactly like a dictatorship.
So, do they understand? These students go to Yale. They go to Yale. Like, what happened? We're not winning with our education. We're not winning, even with these Ivy Leagues. What happened to these fancy Ivy Leagues? Okay, dictatorship. So Fidel Castro was a dictator. Right?
Yeah.
So are they under the assumption that the dictatorship will definitely be someone they like? Like they think it's going to be their homie?
Yeah, they do. And
interesting.
But it's intellectually
stupid,
indefensible. It's so unbelievably indefensible.
They go to Yale.
Okay, so the minute someone is a monarch, they can do anything they want, and
you have no say at all on anything.
You're ceding all of your own power. By the way, they could, as Anna points out, if they wanted, they could turn left wing. If they wanted, and the thing that dictators most often do is they first go after their own side to solidify their power within their own faction, right? So the first ones to the gallows will be the right-wing leaders, right? And that's what Saddam did. That's what every dictator does. But yet there is now a significant movement, and you'll see thought leaders, right-wing pundits talking about monarchies and how America should be a monarchy. And why are they doing that? Why did they attack us on January 6th? Why do 56% of Republican congressmen now or candidates running for the House want to delegitimize democratic elections? Because they know their days are numbered. It's over. It's over, and it's not over because of minorities. It's over because of the young. Every year, the electorate gets far more progressive. Millennials and Gen Z are way more progressive than the people who are brainwashed into corporate rule by television. So as power is slipping away from them, the right wing has never, ever cared about democracy. Ever in the history of the world, in any country. The only thing the right wing cares about is power. So if they thought, hey, we'll appeal to white Christian Americans and they're the great majority and that will give us power, then they pretended to be in favor of democracy. But the minute they can't win in a democracy, they're like, no elections count. No way, Zuckerberg and Soros are doing it. We're not gonna allow it. We're just gonna take power and then damn your stupid elections. And maybe we'll go towards a monarchy. That's what people do when they don't actually believe in America.
I can't remember, did I mention that those kids go to Yale?
Yeah, but again, look, to be fair to Yale guys, it's just, that's one anecdote.
To be fair to Yale guys.
No, my point is.
Poor Yale guys.
No, but my point is, if that's happening there, it's definitely happening elsewhere. Okay.
Yeah, I know. My point is though that these Ivy League institutions are supposed to foster the greatest minds in the world. Okay, greatest minds in the world don't look at monarchies and dictatorships and say, nailed it, nailed it. Yeah, they're supposed to be like cream of the crop, but yet they prove otherwise. Anyway, I'm gonna buy a home in Puerto Vallarta. Get ready, Mexicans, I'm coming.
I'm sure they're very happy to hear that news. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.